What is going on, everybody? Today on Dylan Talks Tone, we are revisiting the Player Series Stratocaster, and we're going to do some upgrades to it and make this thing play really good. So, when we first got this guitar, we put it up against the Silver Sky SE, and there was a few problems that I think I kind of had with this guitar. I didn't really like it, especially against the Silver Sky SE. There was a couple of issues that we had. So, a few of those are, I didn't really like the pickups, but that's my thing. I like to change pickups because I make pickups for a living. Links below, etc., etc. So, we're going to put a new set of pickups in this guitar today. And then the other thing we're going to do is we're going to get this fretboard sorted out because we've got some sharp edges here. The fretboard's really super dry and these frets are a little rough. So we are going to go ahead and use some Lizard Spit products and get this fretboard kind of lined out. And yeah, let's get going. First of all, let's go ahead and put pickups in this guitar. We're going to put the Dylan Talks Tone Classic 5s in this guitar and just give it kind of a vintagey proper Strat sound. Yeah, let's see what happens. So the next thing we're going to do is I want to get this fretboard sorted out. It's really dry and kind of gross. Just feels cheap. When fretboards are dry, they just kind of feel cheap. So we're going to use some Lizard Spit fretboard oil. But before we do that, we are going to fix a couple of fret ends that have a couple of little rough spots on them. And then we are going to polish the frets with the Lizard Spit fret polishing kit. Now we'll have links to all this Lizard Spit stuff. Oh, and I've got Lizard Spit guitar polish here too. We'll have links to all this stuff in the description below. As we're doing it, I'll tell you a couple of things I really like about this stuff, some reasons why I use it instead of other stuff, and kind of why we would use it. So now that the pickups are in the guitar, let's go ahead and get this going. So first things first, I'm just going to use a cheap little straight file, and I'm basically going along and just making sure we don't have any sharp fret ends, because these were really bugging me on this guitar before. I've done a few of them, but like right in here, basically what I do now, you could tape the fretboard all up. It's this one right here. Basically what you do is you just take this and give you a little bit of an, basically just take and smooth that edge over. Real super gentle. I don't really go nuts. Cool. A little bit on the end. And that fret feels a lot nicer. Well, here, let's do all the same direction. All the way down. All right, and we started right here. We'll come back now. On the other side. And you can feel it. It does not take a lot. Being careful not to gouge the fretboard, obviously. I'm not using any pressure. I'm just letting the file kind of do its thing. This end one sometimes has, because of where it's at, has a little square edge on the back side of it that you'll never use, but you'll feel sometimes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, there's a couple more on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and finish these up. Okay, so getting the frets nice and shiny on this thing is key to it playing good. And this is every guitar. Acoustic guitars, electric guitars, doesn't matter. People will use steel wool. People will argue in the comments all day long about using steel wool. I never use steel wool on my guitars. Getting little shards from the steel wool in your pickups is not a good idea because it will get in there and it will rust and corrode your pickups. I have had to repair pickups because of it, and people are gonna say, oh, I can tape it up and I have a way around it and whatever. That's fine. You can do whatever you wanna do, but I'm just telling you, for the money that this thing's cost, you don't have to worry about it. I'll leave a link to it in the description, and I'll give you a little secret. You can buy this whole kit the first time, and it comes with all the stuff that I don't actually use. Here's the important part of this kit. This little bag has these little pads in it that are impregnated with more or less like a rubbing compound, and it's like a little Scotch-Brite pad. You go down here and you start polishing on these frets, and they start to get super, super shiny. The thing is, see the nickel polishing off on the pad? See, the thing is though, is that you don't need to buy this whole kit. You can go to Sweetwater and actually just buy this little bag, and I think it's like $5. So just add it on your next order of stuff and you'll have them around. And there's 24, I think, in a bag. I could probably do most guitars if I keep up on them with like 3. So it'll last you longer than you think. And everybody's like, that's so expensive, I'm just gonna use whatever. It's not, because you just buy this little bag and you just use a few on each guitar, unless they're terrible, terrible, rust, gross, whatever. But if you maintain your guitar, it'd be super cheap. Okay, so next thing I wanna do is clean up this fretboard with some Lizard Spit fretboard oil, which I really, really like. Just put it on a paper towel and just give it a wipe down. Clean up real nice close to the frets. Just make our way down, and you will see that it cleans up. This is not to hydrate the fretboard. A lot of people think that you use this to hydrate the fretboard, but water does that, as in humidity, as in having the proper level of humidity in your home or studio. This is literally just a non-invasive way to clean your fretboard and remove all of those nasty oils that come from your hands and all of that kind of stuff. Common misconception that it hydrates it, but humidity is the only thing that does that. Guitar polish, same thing, Lizard Spit, Carnauba based, no silicone. Don't use silicone based products on your guitars either, especially if you ever have any hope or need to try to work on them in the future. Silicone never really comes off, at least not without any kind of crazy work. We don't have any kind of silicone based sprays around the shop at all. I just don't like them. That comes from my working on cars and painting cars and such days. All right, let's go ahead and throw some strings on this thing and see how it sounds with these new pickups. this thing doesn't suck anymore. What a blast of a guitar, man. Yeah, Player Series Strat. I didn't change the pots or anything because they were CTS stuff, and the cap sounds nice and everything seems to be cool. Just did a pretty massive setup on it because the fretwork was all funky. Polished the frets all up with all the lizard spit stuff. I'll leave a link to all that in the description. This thing is cool now. I really like it. I've been playing it a little bit this afternoon, and it's a good guitar now. It just needed those bugs worked out of it, which is sort of weird for Fender to have those kinds of quality basic issues, but we got it sorted. And of course, my main thing was kind of the anemic pickups. They just didn't have that nice wide range that a Strat should have, so we threw some of our classic 5s in there, and I'm really stoked with it. It's a really good guitar, so it'll go to a good home, I'm sure. I'm sure one of you will end up buying it from me because, you know, we don't keep this stuff very long, just use it for videos and stuff. But it's a great guitar, and I'm stoked. I think anybody could get one of these Player Series Strats, do some upgrades to it, and make it awesome. It needs some stuff, but like I said, it's cool. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you check out all of our other videos and stuff that we do on this channel. Check out the links to, you know, cables and to, whoops, bumped the camera. Cables down there and all the other parts where we get our stuff. Sweetwater link, all that kind of stuff. That all helps out the channel a little bit, so I do appreciate it. Thanks for hanging out, and make sure you check out the podcast and all the other stuff we're doing lately. We will see you in the next video.